Have you ever felt completely alone, even in the middle of life's chaos? Surrounded by people, surrounded by noise. Yet deep inside, your heart feels isolated. Maybe your prayers feel like whispers in the wind. Maybe your tears have become your only companions. Maybe it seems like everyone else is moving forward, while you're stuck in the same place. And in those quiet moments, when no one sees, when no one hears, the question rises in your heart: God, are you really still with me? If you've ever asked that question, this message is for you. This isn't a message for perfect people. It's not for those who have it all together. It's for people who are tired, wounded, broken, yet somehow still standing. So if that's you, stay here. Because by the end of this message, your heart will remember something it may have forgotten. You are not alone. God is still with you. Life can be unfair. Life can be painful. And sometimes, life doesn't explain itself. There are seasons when you pray harder, but feel nothing. When you worship, but feel empty. When you believe, but still feel lost. And in those moments, it feels like God is silent, like heaven has gone quiet, while your storm grows louder. But hear this clearly. Silence does not mean absence. Delay does not mean denial. Pain does not mean punishment. The Lord is near to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Psalm 34 verse 18. God never promised a life without pain. He promised a presence that never leaves. Look at Joseph. Joseph did everything right. Yet everything went wrong. Betrayed by his brothers. Thrown into a pit. Sold as a slave. Falsely accused. Forgotten in prison. But the Bible keeps repeating one powerful sentence. The Lord was with Joseph. Genesis 39 verse 21. Not after the breakthrough. Not after the palace. But in the pit. In the prison. In the waiting. God's presence did not remove Joseph's pain. It sustained him through it. And maybe, just maybe, that's what God is doing in your life right now. Then there's David. Chosen, anointed, favored, yet hunted like a criminal. David hid in caves. David ran for his life. David cried out in confusion. How long, Lord? Will you forget me forever? Psalm 13 verse 1. But the same David also declared, The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Psalm 23 verse 1. David felt fear. David felt pain. But God never left him. Sometimes God doesn't remove the cave, because the cave is where faith is formed. Then there is Job. Job didn't lose a little. He lost everything. Family, health, wealth, stability. Sitting in ashes, scraping his wounds, Job said, Though he slay me, yet will I trust him. Job 13 verse 15. Job didn't understand God's silence. But God never left Job's side. God may feel silent, but he is never absent. And if suffering meant God had left, then Paul's life would make no sense. Beaten, chained, imprisoned, abandoned. Yet Paul wrote from prison, The Lord stood with me and strengthened me. 2 Timothy 4 verse 17. Chains cannot block God's presence. Prisons cannot cancel God's purpose. Where you are bound physically, God is still free spiritually. And finally, Jesus. In Gethsemane, he prayed until his sweat became drops of blood. On the cross, he was rejected by men, yet held by God. For the joy set before him, he endured the cross. Hebrews 12 verse 2. If God stayed with Jesus through the cross, he will not abandon you in your trial. Here is the truth we often miss. God is not always preparing your comfort. He is preparing your calling. Pain is not proof of abandonment. Waiting is not proof of rejection. Silence is not proof of absence. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you. Isaiah 43 verse 2. God works deepest where emotions can't reach. Now let's bring this home. Look at your life. There are things you survived that should have destroyed you. There were nights you cried yourself to sleep and still woke up breathing. There were moments you wanted to quit, but something inside you held on. That wasn't luck. That wasn't strength. That was God. I will never leave you nor forsake you. Hebrews 13 verse 5. Every step you thought you walked alone, He was carrying you. Even there your hand will guide me. Psalm 139 verse 10. So how do we live with this truth? We remember His faithfulness. We pray honestly. We trust the unseen. We wait without quitting. And we become proof for others that God never leaves His people. If today you feel unseen, if faith feels heavy, if hope feels quiet, remember this: God is not absent in your pain. God is not distant in your struggle. God is not silent in your waiting. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are not alone. God is still with you. And one day, you will look back and see it clearly. The moments He carried you, the strength He gave you in silence, the love that never left.